Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. We're going to have Drake and Lady Dragon and Minuteman on this evening. The last hour and a half, we're going to have Q&A. So for the first hour and a half, we'll have Drake, Lady Dragon, and Minuteman say what they got to say. Take it away, guys.
Good. Lady Dragon, you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Hey,
How you doing, everyone?
You here too?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay. I got a few things that people need to know what's going on. There's a variety of things that are happening that people don't know about. One of those is that you heard that the European Union is having severe problems. This has been all over the place. And you've also heard that the recent meeting of the heads of state decided that they wanted to try to help that out. Well, come to find out, the way they're looking at financing that is with credit default swaps. Okay? Rocket scientists can't figure out what they are or how they work, but they're there. Supposedly they have some sort of value, according to the people that buy and sell them, and that's basically what they're looking at doing. Now, I think it's bad enough that the banking system is the way it is, but apparently we also now have to deal with the ideology that things that are even hard to cause a reaction in. For people that don't know, credit default swap is very simple. It's sort of an insurance hedge bet. If something happens, it pays out. And consequently, the interesting part is that the Greece economy has had a load of these things, and this load has not assisted them one little bit. So that sort of kind of intimates to me that either you can't activate the things or they're worthless, one of the two. And so that's one of the behind-the-doors deals that was not supposed to be well-known, and that I was asked to put on this show tonight. As some people know, I deal with some of the principals in the financial world, and presently we are in a process of finalizing the agreements with the collateral accounts. That process has been going along for some time and has finally gotten to the point where it can be finalized. This means that in the very near future you can look forward to the finalization of the request for payment of liens against the central banking system, both in Europe and here and other places. This means that the things that I have been trying to expound upon, I've been trying to explain, and I've been trying to let everybody know, are very close. I can almost taste it, but I'm a little closer than some others. The crux of it is this. Nobody knows exactly the full timing range of what takes place when these things happen, because they've not happened before. Some things similar to it have happened, and according to the best experts in the field, we're looking at a period of time of about a week, give or take, of a zeroing of currencies. The reason being is that the central banking system owes an extraordinary amount of money to the collateral from which they have leveraged, borrowed, stolen, or however you want to put this. That has put them in an interesting position. Not only do they owe the amount that they've used, they owe a certain percentage of interest. This is not something that they have available to repay. Consequently, you're going to find that a lot of currencies, economies, and other things that people have gotten used to the nature of, the convenience of credit cards and things of this nature, having a local bank that you can get a few bucks out of when you need it. these things are about to close. The whole of the banking system will be closed for about a week, give or take. Now, when I say a week, I'm talking 3 to 5 days, give or take. That 3 to 5 day period would be working days. So you're looking at about a week's closure. It takes about 2 or 3 days for the actual closing, and it takes about the same amount of time to revalue, reinvest, and reopen. So altogether, you're probably looking at about 2 weeks. And if you haven't done so, for your own survival and protection, I recommend that you get a couple of weeks' worth of what's called junk silver. 1964 and before silver coinage, United States Mint, or coinage of your country that is a metal, a precious metal consistency of 80% or better. These coinages will be able to be used like a normal currency. They will be pegged to whatever the basic spot price is for those metals. So, in other words, them old silver dimes that you got in a shoebox somewhere could be worth, quite literally, their weight in silver at least. You take 50 cents worth of those and have them weighed, you're talking about $25 worth of silver. These will be the commodities that will be able to be used. Gold also will be able to be used, don't get me wrong, but silver is more affordable. It's not very expensive as far as an ounce price goes, and its availability shouldn't be too much of a problem as of yet. I recommend everybody get a couple of weeks' worth of what you're going to spend. What you normally spend at the grocery, multiply by 2. If you buy fuel, multiply by 2, whatever you use during the week. Just that simple. You'll find that a lot of people all of a sudden have postal scales so that they can weigh the coin, multiply by generally 85% is what the particular coinage I'm describing comes in at in terms of silver content, and multiply that by the price per ounce according to the most recent spot price, and it gives you the value of the coin. Just that simple. There are going to be a couple of problems with this. One of them is going to be change. In other words, you get so much gas, but you're paying in silver that's worth a little bit more. The best way to handle that is a simple IOU from whomever you're buying from, for the difference in the amount. That's to be turned in on your next purchase. That clears that account. Then you divvy up a little more silver. Down the road you go. The emergency management people, and I'm not talking about FEMA or some of these other so-called entities. I'm talking about the real emergency preparedness people, have set up caches of food and supplies of different nature, depending on what somebody might need. So you'll have food if you got to have it, and you're on a limited income and you cannot get a hold of silver. If you have that problem, call somebody. During this period of time, phones, all the utilities are supposed to be kept on as best as possible. You shouldn't have any interruptions. After the closing of the Federal Reserve, the Treasury, after the people are cleaned out, is going to be handling currencies, period, just as it is supposed to have always been. The ideas of bonanzas that people are looking at may or may not materialize the way they think they will. Some of the structure of the new finance has not been fully completed as of yet, so some of the details are lacking. They are, and when I say they, there are an extraordinary amount of people working on things that will best fit according to the country applied. In other words, Russia is different than the United States. China is different from both of us. And then you got India, which is totally different from everybody. So, pick something in terms of a system that's not necessarily totally crooked. The system might be okay. Adjust it a little bit so that it is okay. Then how do you apply the funding, in what manner, so that you come out with a correct result? These are the details that need to be worked out. A lot of the details dealing with the United States has been worked out. That plan is called NESARA. There are two NESARAs. I've mentioned this before in different places. One NESARA is talked about by the U.S. government. That is not the good one. The good NESARA is the one that has been locked up and removed from record, but still exists. This NESARA offers a different take entirely upon finance than the one that you see publicly. Now, I've had conversations with people who are supposed to be structuring some of this. One of the things about NESARA was a flat tax. The idea of the flat tax, in terms of that word, tax, in my opinion, should be a four-letter word, but it's only three, is going to be turned into what's called use fee. By that I mean, according to the traffic on a specific road, you have certain expenses to maintain that road. You will pay a toll of 25 cents, dollar, whatever it might be, according to the number of cars that travel it or trucks, etc. And that toll would cover the expense of the maintenance of that road. In other words, you don't have a county tax covering that any longer. You won't need it. Along with this, you have other, quote, use taxes. In other words, you have minus the federal taxes, a telephone normally runs somewhere in the neighborhood of $21 in taxes alone. These are federal taxes mostly. So you can imagine the drop in the prices of some of the commodities used. And if you pay them $1 a month to maintain the wires, that's a lot better than 21. So you're looking forward to some things that are going to be extraordinary changes. Now, as I said, the agreements in terms of the collateral accounts are in process as we speak. What this means is that the RV will be set ahead of time so that there is no lag necessary in terms of the revaluation. This is critical to make sure that there are not great interruptions in economies. There is a possibility that some of the banking system that exists will also be continually used. Now, these will be fully open above board and thoroughly outed in terms of if somebody wants to take a look, they can see right through the thing. There's going to be nothing hidden any longer in terms of finance. But there may be a need, instead of having just one treasury location, having a secondary one so that they can get the funds to somebody quicker. Just that simple. Nothing more complicated than that. These use fees are not going to be as extraordinary as everybody thinks, and will be less than the tax that the old NESARA plan was designed to implement. This much I have found out. So, to go along with this, I got a nice little email the other day everybody ought to really enjoy. Homeland Security releases a list of keywords that cheese them off. Lo and behold, you can't say nothing without cheesing off Homeland Security. There's 3-4 pages of friggin' words that normally everybody would use